And hello fellow Tankers, Space Bandit here with another episode of World of Tanks, and today I bring you quite a few games. Actually, I'm gonna have probably, 3.5 games in the Tier 6 Russian heavy tank T-150. Yes, I never went down that line, and just recently I decided to grind it. I don't know why, I just looked at my tech tree, Russian tech tree, and I realized that I've never researched this line. So I never actually went the way of KV3, KV4, SDI, and IS-4. And to be honest, all the other Russian tech tree lines, especially for heavy tanks, are probably better than this one, especially nowadays, since IS-4 is not really considered a very tough vehicle. It could be easily penned on the roof. It has a bunch of weak spots here and there, but I'm hoping that eventually Wargaming will give it some love and will buff it at some point in time. So we'll see what happens. In the meantime, I thought, may as well just grind some other lines in addition to the tanks that I'm already playing all the time. Give myself a little bit of break from tier 10, tier 9, and so on and so forth. And to be honest, I'm actually pleasantly surprised with this tank. It's nothing spectacular. It has a little bit of armor. It's not the fastest thing ever, but the gun punches hard, and it punches really, really hard at tier 6. With the top gun on this tank, you're getting about 300 alpha damage on average, which is quite fantabulous, to be honest. Because imagine hitting a tier 5 or a tier 4 for like 300 or 340 or something of that nature. So one thing I noticed with this tank is that the gun punches really hard, but it's so damn inaccurate that it's sometimes it will drive you nuts. I tell you that much, guys. Because, the dispersion of 0.43, it's just ridiculously bad. You have to aim this gun almost 100%. And the problem with aiming this gun is that it has 3.26 second aim time, which is horrible again. So the only appealing thing about this tank, to be honest, is the alpha itself. If you actually manage to hit someone, you hit them hard. You make them hurt. And when you peek from around the corner, when you hit someone, you hurt them and you trade. And you trade, let's say, 300 alpha for 240, you're always gonna win that trade, right? So that's what you have to keep in mind. The reload on this tank isn't bad. I can't remember where I have it at, but it's probably in the range of between 8 and 9 seconds. So it's quite standard for Russian tanks. Now penetration is quite interesting because you have a 107mm gun with penetration of 167 millimeters on standard rounds, which is not that bad, to be honest, at tier 6. When you go up to your premium rounds, you're getting 219 millimeters of penetration, which is quite incredible. So that would mean that you should be able to go through whole armor of IS-3s, stockades, fatherlands. It's not going to be easy. RNG is probably going to knock you down here and there, but you should be able to pen it probably about 50% of time, I would say. So it's not so bad. That gives you potential to play at tier 8, to be honest. As far as armor is concerned, really nothing spectacular. You're talking about 100 millimeters on the turret, except the manlet is pretty strong. So yeah, you don't want to hit this tank in a manlet, but anywhere around, you'll probably pen it. Whole armor is deceivingly strong. It's at 90 millimeters. So if you angle this tank properly, it will probably bounce a lot of shells. So I would recommend that if you see this tank, you'd probably want to shoot it in a turret. If it's over angled, it's going to be hard to pen, but even at 90 millimeters, guns at tier 8 won't have a problem penetrating this hull. So yeah, it is what it is. It's a tier 6, right? But for whatever reason, I've had some awesome time in this tank, and I'm bringing you so many ace tankers. I don't know, like, people don't play this tank or what's going on. Because if you hit 2.5k damage, for the most part, you're probably going to get an ace tanker in this tank. And it's not really that hard to hit 2.5k damage with 300 alpha gun, right? I mean, you still got to put yourself in the right situations in order to get that damage. But to be honest, it's not really that difficult. So I played this tank for a couple of days now, and I had, 4 ace tankers and a bunch of master class 1s. So there you go. Anyway, I'm going to show you all the ace tankers that I got in this tank, and we're going to talk through some strategies maybe at the same time, because we're going to be showing different maps, so we can talk about that stuff, and then we'll go from there. Now, my apologies for the first game, because you see it's in third-person mode. Unfortunately, I wasn't recording at the time, and the new Xbox One X that I got only records 2 minutes and I didn't realize that. So if you're not recording with Elgato or any other capture card, the max you can get with Xbox One X out of the box will be 2 minutes of capture time, which I realize that now. So as a backup, I'm probably gonna get myself a stick, and I'm gonna record onto the stick, and I could probably record more than that. But there are times when I'm not recording when I'm playing, so bear with me on that, guys, and I apologize for that. That being said, we're back in a first-person view, so you should see the rest of this game in first person. The remaining games will be in a first-person view because I have been recording them, so hopefully that'll be all right. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump into this game and see where we are at. So we're almost near the end of the game. As you probably noticed throughout the game, I stole a couple kills there, one on KV2, which was burning. It would have burned the ground if I didn't shut it down, but I hit my shot lined up anyway, so I shot it anyway. And I apologize to the person that I stole that kill from. That would be one of them. And the other one would be on the ARL-44. I think he was barely left with any HP, so I shot him down. And just like that, I got myself a Top Gun. And I'm going for a Devastator. Let's see if we can get this Jackson. But from what I remember, yeah, that's right. He got shot down, so I'm not going to get to that kill, unfortunately. But still relatively good game with 2.4k damage and 6 kills. And in this game, we actually put ourselves in a pretty nice position. And we were kind of trying to isolate the targets, pretty much. So to make sure that every time someone is looking at me, it would be just that one person and no other tanks would be looking at me, right? So that's the whole point in World of Tanks. You need to isolate targets to make sure that no more than one gun is looking at you so that you are able to trade, right? Especially with big alpha, that's what you want to do. You want to look at only one person or one other tank looking at you at the same time, and you want to trade the alpha. But in order to do that, you have to know what the opposing tank's alpha is. Because obviously if you run into something like a 600 alpha gun, or like a KV2 for instance, then good luck with that, right? Okay, let's jump into the second game of the evening. And in second game we are on map, what is it? White Park. Oh my gosh, I don't play this map at all that much anymore because it does not appear at high tiers, guys, and I just don't play low tiers that much. Anyway, seems like we're a mid tier on this map. And this is not one of those maps that I particularly like. But what are you going to do? And there are 2 artilleries in play. Now, on this map, the most important is the middle ridge. And this is an encounter map, actually. So the flag is right in the middle. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to go right. Even though I don't have any gun depression. Or I do have, what, -7 degrees? I'm going to try to play the ridge. Just beside that train right here. I like this spot. I think this spot is really good, especially with a tank that has gun depression. You can work this, you know, side or this angle here pretty well. And take a look at that. This guy just comes on top and gets shafted right away. Guys, if you are scouting, never go over the ridge. You can basically go very close to the edge of the ridge so that your cupola is poking out. And that's the way to spot. That way you're not going to overexpose your tank, and you're still going to scout and spot pretty much everyone if you want to do that. So this guy went on a scouting run, but it went bad for him, unfortunately, because he way overexposed this tank. And it was an easy shot for me anyway. And that's another reason why I make this play, because scout tanks decide to make this play that way. They kind of do a drive-by, and there will be a position at some point when they're going to go straight, so all I have to do is just auto-aim and hit them, right? But for whatever reason, the opposition team in this game decided not to go middle at all. Everybody bunked up on one side of the map, which gives me freedom to operate here. As you can see, I'm just wondering, something is spotting me and targeting me, and I think it was that Slayer that was up there. So at this point in time, we're just going to poke over and we're going to use our armor. We're going to snap some shots right there because, you know, no time to aim really, to be honest. Like this shot, we're going to aim and we barely hit that Tiger. But we're going to continue doing the same thing, hiding behind the train. As you can see, don't overexpose yourself as that guy on my left because, yeah, you're going to die. So just auto aim, snap shoot, that's the only way to do it. Now, I'm going to try to take the Citadel out, but he gets taken out. At the same time, that was a dangerous play because you could see that shot coming from KV2. So I'm going to get a little bit smarter here. that wreck in front of me, it can serve me as a protection. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna re-angle my tank so that the front of my tank is facing all of the opposition tanks that are on the right hand side. So, and you're gonna see that here in a split second. Right there. So I'm coming up here. The tank on my right serves as the protection, so these guys gonna have a hard time hitting me. Yet I have shots on the guys that are on my left, right? And they're not paying attention to me whatsoever. So I'm just snap shooting here. Now that guy found a shot, but that's fine. He can hit me once. It's extremely hard for him to hit me anyway, to find those shots. So I'm gonna re-angle a little bit, and I'm gonna try to focus this Oni. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Again, look, see that? My turret is gonna be extremely hard to hit. There is some shooting lanes there for sure, but I don't mind training at this point in time because we just took out everyone that was in the middle, right? And at this point, I'm using this tank as a protection, only my turret sticking out. And here my gun is going to troll me a little bit. I'm going to just do a critical, I think, on this guy twice. But look at these guys poking out from there. Yeah, that should have been a pen right there, but it was critical, unfortunately. It's a fast game, guys. Very fast game. I mean, on this map, usually the game is done in like 3-4 minutes. Every time I play this map, that's what happens. Now, I see all of them looking at me right now, so why would I want to overexpose? I don't want to be facing 3 guns. I don't want to die. I want some extra damage. Minuteman drive wheel, when he faces you sideways like this, you cannot penetrate the side armor. There's no way. Even tier 9s have trouble doing that. So make sure you hit his drive wheel. You will always pen and track him at the same time. So now we're going to load premium ammo because we want to get some extra damage here. This has got nothing to do with skill. I just want extra additional damage. So I wanted to kill that guy. And at the same time, I wanted damage from this KV-2. Now, that was slightly a dangerous play because if he did fire, he could have taken me out of the game. But I didn't care at this point in time. I just wanted extra damage. And just like that, we got ourselves, what, 2.5k damage, 14 penetrating hits. Very quick game. We just demolished the opposing team easily in this situation. So again, we ended up with ace tanker. Like I said, in this tank, you hit 2.5k damage, you will get an ace tanker. I don't know why. Probably not a lot of people are playing this tank. Maybe it's time for you to jump into this tank. It's not really that bad. But you got to be patient with the gun, I'll tell you that much. So we finished with 1780 base XP, which is quite a lot to be honest. 3 kills, 2.5k damage. We fired 13 shells, we had 12 direct hits and 9 penetrations. Alright, let's jump into the next game. And the next game is on map Hellbron. We are on the North Spawn. We are mid-tier in this matchup, I believe, from what I remember. And on map Hellbron, on this side of the map, I never go town. I don't know. Town is insignificant again. A lot of heavy tanks go there brawling, but really, you don't win the game in the town at all. The game is won on the east side of the map. Central and east side of the map. So you need to have some tank destroyers that are sitting at B0. At least a couple has to be there in order to suppress fire from the opposition that's coming in from the south. And then the rest of the guns should be probably somewhere central. You know, position E5. You can actually access position E5 through D7, somewhere around there. So that's exactly what I'm going to do here. I just wanted to see where my tanks are going. And basically, I decided to go forward, and I'm going to get myself in the position D7 initially. And we're going to see who's poking over the ridge at F5. And from there, we'll see maybe we can get some damage. And then we'll progress forward into that area at E6. And we'll see what happens after that. So anyway, we're going to get ourselves first in the position D7, which is where we are now, or closer to D6. And from here, I should have shots at the guys that are on top of that hill, which is quite prominent. A lot of tanks come here at F5. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Here, unfortunately, my gun didn't lock at the right target. And here you can see what this gun does when you try to snap it. If you snap with this gun, it's becoming a rocket launcher. So the last thing you want to do is snap with this gun. But yeah, there are actually games where you won't be able to hit any shots at all. I had games like that. RNG completely screwed me. Anyway, I don't know what this guy's doing. He's way ahead of the curve. So we shot him down quite easily there. And then another bugger is trying to make his way down here. It's a T-29. So we put a shell into his side right there. We damaged his fuel tank. Now we're going to re-angle, because if he's facing us, I want him to hit my strong armor. But I think he's sitting behind the building at this point in time. So I'm going to wait for him to re-angle. Right here, he re-angled. He showed me his side, but my shot went somewhere. I don't know where, again. But we should have a shot here at him. There we go. We hit him for 292 right there. He's in dead man's land. Guys, don't ever go over that ridge at F5, because once you do, you're pretty much dead. Dead in the water. I mean, you'll be subjecting yourself to a bunch of crossfires, and that's what happened to that guy. And, you know, and that's why those games go so bad so quick. And so many times I find myself on the, you know, bad side, on the side of the team that's really bad. And the reason why this is happening is because players just don't know how to play the maps. That's all it is. There's usually a line, invisible line, in the middle of the map somewhere that's divided by a ridge that will basically dictate whether you should stay back or go forward. And you just, that stuff you can just learn by experience. There's no way you'll know it when you're new to the game. It's just not possible. Anyway, we see this Wolverine right here. We're gonna take our time to fire because Artie just fired at us and, you know, didn't do anything to us. So we continue moving forward right now. I was gonna go after these guys on the left hand side, but then I realized they're already pushing up too far and they're gonna be taken out quite quickly. But then I realized this T-150 is aiming at me. Not sure why. So we take him out of the game and we're gonna move forward. And that's it. The game is over. Just like that. So final stages. We're just gonna get to final kills. And I think we're just gonna fast forward this until we get to the final kills, and we'll take a look at the end plates. Okay, so looks like Light Tank decided not to play anymore, so he quit the game, and we put a nice juicy shell into this Hellcat. And I don't remember if we actually managed to kill him. Yeah, I think we did manage to kill him. We take that hit, but I don't care at this point in time because I still have a bunch of HP left, and yeah, that Light Tank, he's not playing. So he gets taken out. I guess he just quit in frustration because, you know, look at the team, look at the score, really. And that's the story at lower tiers, to be honest, guys. You're either on one end or you're on the other end. That's the way it works. Hard to get good games at tier 6, tier 7, to be honest. Anyway, we finished with, what, 2.5, almost 2.6k damage. We had 4 kills, again, ace tanker. And look at the credit earnings. That's not too bad for a Tech 3 tank. 90k, quite nice. So yeah, we finished with a bunch of medals. Not much assisted damage, but you're not gonna get assisted damage in this tank, unfortunately. We finished on top of the team with 1547 base XP. So anything over 1500 base XP will get you ace tanker. We fired 12 shells, we had 9 direct hits and 9 penetrations. Anyway, let's skip to the last game of the evening, and last game is on map Panama. And every time I get drawn on this side of the map, I become a little bit pissy because I hate this side of the map. I like to play it out of the middle, especially if I'm in a, you know, heavy tank that has no mobility and I'm drawn on this side of the map. Yeah, I get a little pissy. But luckily, it's a top tier game, so, you know, hopefully it's not going to be too much of a pain. And we're in a base defense mode, which means the opposing team is assaulting, we're defending. And because I'm slow, there's nowhere else I can go. I have to go in this position here. The problem with going up here is, especially at, you know, high tier game, this is tier 6, so that's usually not a problem because tanks don't have such a view range at tier 6 in order to spot you coming up the hill over here. But if you're playing at tier 9 or tier 10, beware, because if you're coming up this hill right here, whatever tank positions themselves at F6 or F7 and they have good view range, they'll be able to spot you, and then you're screwed. You'll be shredded to pieces right here in this position. If you haven't watched any of the videos that I have on my channel with respect to Westfield, Panama is pretty much the same map as Westfield. I suggest that you go and watch them because you'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm gonna get myself into this position here, those palm trees right here on my left hand side. I don't want to go any further because I'm too slow. If I wanted to cross here, I'm probably gonna get shredded. And as you can see already, light tanks on the opposing team are making their way up here. So I'm gonna try to put some shells into these guys. But again, my gun, and actually this game is gonna show how bad this gun is, because there'll be quite a few shots that go left and right and see what happens. Except for this one. This shot was fully aimed and went where it's supposed to go. But we're gonna pretty much defend this position for the most part here. We're gonna be a little bit under siege, so it's gonna be quite interesting. As you can see, the opposition is pushing through this side, and majority of our team went to the other side of the map, which is great. That's what they should be probably doing. Like I said, the only reason I didn't go there is because my poor mobility. And someone has to defend this side of the map, to be honest, in the assault mode, right? So I had to do what I have to do. So I'm gonna have to hold this position. So I'm actually checking who's with me here. There's another medium tank coming up behind me as well. So we're gonna try to lose our sixth sense, and we're just gonna chill over here. We're gonna chill and wait and see what happens. The only problem here is that no one, absolutely no one from our team is in the middle. I wish there would be someone at least at F5, somewhere there, so they could at least spot if there's anyone in the middle, because at this point in time, the opposing team can pretty much take our side of the map where I am here. And where's this guy going? Please don't go. You're gonna get shredded, bro. And that's the problem. He's gonna get shredded. What I was saying is the opposing team can take advantage of the middle of the map, and as you can see, there's a tank destroyer already there, and that's a problem. So I gotta be mindful of that. Anyway, this gun, you saw last two shots, not going anywhere near. Although the second shot was just kind of a test shot, really, to be honest. But I should have been able to hit that thunderbolt. Anyway, something's shooting from behind as well. I'm gonna try to hit a cupola of the Citadel. Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah, that gun is not gonna do that. That was probably one of my first two games in this tank. I don't remember. It could have been my first game in this tank, to be honest. So I didn't know shell velocity. I didn't know the shell penetration, all that kind of stuff. So as you can see, I have APCR rounds loaded for this Tiger. I probably didn't need APC rounds here, but because of the situation and where, you know, we're only two tanks defending this side of the field, it doesn't matter. You gotta use all means necessary to hold. Anyway, I see this light tank trying to flank us, so I'm gonna put a shell into him. Huge alpha. Then I'm gonna turn around. Instead of turning my tank all the way around, as you notice, you always have, that's kind of a trick I learned over time. You turn the other way because you know the light tank is gonna come all the way around and try to flank you. So now we take him out of the game. The Sherman here is trying to push us. We're gonna take him out of the game, and at this time Hellcat from the middle is putting shells into us, so we gotta be backing out here as quickly as we can. Luckily we bounced that shell, because he would have brought us down in health quite significantly if he put a shell into us right there. So as you notice here, we're the only ones sitting here at this point in time. Now take a look at this shot here. Fully aimed. Look how long I'm aiming. What the shit? No words, guys. And the same thing here. Yeah. So whenever RNG wants to lose you the game, it will lose you the game in this tank. So keep that in mind. And if you have a broken gun, don't even try to shoot. I tell you that much. Anyway, I'm in a pickle here. So the main thing at this point in time is keep on holding and wait for my teammates right now. Right? As you can see, the Hellcat's gonna find its way behind me, and oh, this is gonna be nuts. So you saw the shots earlier, right? That I couldn't hit anything. Now take a look at those shots. This is gonna be nuts. I mean, these shots, I don't know how that went in. I don't know how the shot before that went in either. Now the only thing that concerns me right now is that Hellcat behind me, right? Take a look at that shot. Really snap. I had no choice. I had to snap that shot. And now Hellcat luckily tracks me. So I should have been out of the game. My armor saved me. My Russian armor has saved me. And now I'm going to try to remain unspotted. I'm going to use that dead body of that tank to kind of give myself a little bit of protection. And I'm just going to hang in here at this point in time. I decided not to engage. I'm like, I don't want to die. And as you already noticed, my team already took over the other side of the map. So it's just a matter of time before they actually get here. And I'm just waiting for them to spot now. And if they spot something, I'm just going to try to use my gun and take these guys out of the game. Fortunately, this guy gets taken out. And I know there's one more guy. And that's what I'm showing my team. I know where the Hellcat is. I show them that he's close to the base. And the other medium tank, he's spotted right there, right now at J0. Anyway, I have shots at this Hellcat. So I want to make sure that I fully aim that shot. Because this gun... Anyway, we hit that. Luckily, I don't know how. So gun decided to behave later on in the game. It just midway through the game, it was doing some weird stuff. But those couple of snapshots that I put into those medium tanks were freaking crazy, to be honest. But that's the game. There's World of Tanks to you guys. Right there. Anyway, closing stages. This game is over. I'm not getting to the last kill. But we managed to hold our side miraculously. I don't know how we did that, but we managed to hold that side. And we persevered. So it's a victory. Let's take a look at the end plates and see how we did. So we ended up with Mastery Ace Tanker again, as I mentioned. 2.6k damage, over 2.6k damage with some assisted. Finished in the second spot to Thunderbolt, who had 1543 base XP. Quite a nice game in this tank. Anyway, guys, I don't think I'm gonna keep this tank, to be honest. I already researched KV3, so that's probably next. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, that'll be at a later time. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Go check out CloneGuy72 and Gotta Dingy. Links in the description below. That's it for now. Until next time, happy tanking. Space Bandit, checking out.